Hello. Today we will be going over course registration for the next upcoming school year at Newark Memorial High School. As a refresher, we have 3 counselors at Newark Memorial. If your last name begins with letters A through C and you're in the Puente program, your counselor is Mrs. Torres. If your last name begins with the letters D through M and you're in the ELD program, your counselor is Mrs. Hernandez. And if your last name begins with letters N through Z and you're in the MCA program, your counselor will be me, Mr. Luna. All of our email addresses are provided as shown. Graduation requirements, 230 credits. That is the minimum number of credits that you will need upon completion of senior year. So as an example, by subject area, you will need 4 years and 40 credits of English. As of today, if you're currently in the 9th grade, freshman, you should have a total of 30 credits by the end of semester 1. For 10th graders, sophomores, you should be at 90 credits. For juniors, you should be at 140 credits at the end of semester 1. And for seniors, you should be at 200 credits heading into the current semester 2. UC CSU college requirements A through G. By subject area on this grid, if you fulfill letter A, social science, 2 years, starting with world history 10th grade, and then US history 11th grade, you will have completed letter A of A through G. If we scroll all the way to the bottom, in the asterisks, right there, it says minimum grade must be a C- or higher for all A through G courses. If you fulfill letters A through G with a C- or higher, then by senior year, you will be eligible to apply to a UC or CSU. Changing or withdrawing from a class. Schedule changes may be considered for the following reasons only: to add a graduation requirement, to add a college entrance requirement, to add a missing class, to delete a class already passed, or to correct an incorrect placement. Now remember, when picking classes, which we will be going over later on in this video, you must consult and communicate with your teachers and your parents to pick the right class for you. No changes will be made after 2 weeks into the semester without administrative approval. And along those same lines, as an important reminder, a year-long course is a year-long commitment. No requests will be honored to change teachers, periods for any reason. And in the fall, in order to request a schedule change, we will go over with you what you need to submit in a Google form to request any schedule changes. Continuing on with AP courses agreements. Enrolling in AP is a commitment. Be mindful of the number of APs you sign up for. Achieving that right balance between AP and CP classes will be key here. And as we stated, dropping AP courses is not allowed. It's the same as taking any CP course or any course. You will not be allowed to drop at the end of semester 1. Most importantly, with AP courses, keep in mind the extensive rigor in each of the courses. But also keep in mind it will prepare you for college level work. And again, I can't emphasize enough, you must communicate and consult with your teachers and your parents to make a cumulative right decision if that class is right for you. Now, English and language arts, 4 years. As you can see there are 3 paths there. So for example, in 9th grade, you will be taking English 1, in 10th grade, English 2, 11th grade, English 3, and then 12th grade will be English 4, expository reading and writing composition. Now, in order to continue on with course sequence, I will be handing over to Mrs. Torres, and she will explain the next department.
Hello, Newark Memorial students. This is Mrs. Torres, counselor for all students whose last names begin with A through C, and for my Puente students. So Mr. Luna just finished talking about the required courses for English, and I'm going to continue talking about the required courses to graduate from Newark Memorial. So next, as part of that discussion, is the math requirement. All students need 3 years in order to graduate. So even though you may be done after your 11th grade year with math, it is recommended that students do take a 4th year of math. So in order for you to make a decision on which class you should take, what you need to do is find your current grade level. So if you're a current 10th grader and you're in geometry, in the course sequence, your next math class would be Algebra 2. If you're an 11th grader and you continue to take math next year as a 12th grader, your recommended course would be Math Analysis, Transitions to College Math, or even AP Statistics. It is highly encouraged that you do talk to your current math teacher and get his or her input about which class you should take for next year. For science, there are required 2 years. So if you're a 9th grader, you are all taking biology. And so in 10th grade, you could take any one of these classes listed here: chemistry in the Earth system, pre-AP chemistry, physics, or AP Physics 1. Again, you should talk to your current science teacher and get his or her recommendation about which class would best suit you. Although you don't need to take more than 2 years of science in order to graduate, it is recommended that you take a 3rd, if not a 4th year of science to remain a competitive applicant for a 4-year college. For social science, if you are a 9th grader, it was not required this year for you to take a social science or what we call a history class. If you're a 9th grader, though, your options are either world history, or you can take AP World History. When the counselors visit your classrooms in your English classrooms this week and starting next week, we will go over the requirements and some of the differences between AP and non-AP classes. If you're a current 10th grader and you're in world history, the sequence would be regular US history, and then senior year would be Gov Econ. If you're in AP World History and you like the subject, you like studying history, it is recommended for you to continue with that course sequence of AP and continue either in AP US History, or you could take regular US History. If you currently have history, though, I would definitely recommend that you talk to your current history teacher and get his or her recommendation for next year. World languages, remember that you need 2 years if you are a 9th grader and you currently are not taking a world language, Spanish or French. It is recommended that you do start next year in your 10th grade. And same thing, if you're a 10th grader if you have not taken a world language, remember that you do need 2 years in order to graduate from Newark Memorial. So like everything else, you follow the sequence. If you are a Spanish native speaker, we do have that program for Spanish speakers. The sequence is recommended that you continue with Spanish 2 for Spanish speakers so that by 11th or 12th grade, you can reach the AP level. Unfortunately, we don't have a native French speaking program, but it is recommended you continue through again to that 4th level to get to AP. Again, with the theme of being not just fulfilling the requirements, but also moving above and beyond the requirements, it is also recommended that you take the 3rd level of French or Spanish. Also, fine arts. Remember, all students need at least 1 year of fine arts. There's a list here of different course sequences or pathways, depending what your area of interests are. If you're a 9th grader that is taking one of these classes now, whether it be art or photography or video, in 10th grade, your counselors will go over with you how there is really no space in particular to continue with the fine arts. There are ways to maybe squeeze that in if you delay by taking PE, but you could have that conversation with your counselor. But if you want to continue, let's say you are a 10th grader and in your 9th grade year you took photography, you can continue with the advanced levels of those classes or that discipline. So if you took photography, you do have advanced photography as an option. Same thing with video, you could take advanced video, advanced ceramics. There is a new course sequence or pathway for but for choir and band. So Mr. Harris, who is our new band and choir teacher, we do have a lyrical choir, which is intended for beginning and intermediate singers, as well as choraleers, which is for our more advanced singers. We do have concert band and symphonic band as well. So if you want more information, we will actually have a course fair that will be happening later this month, and Ms. Hernandez will go over the dates for that. PE. So if you're one of those students in ninth grade who's taking PE, you actually all of you should be taking PE. You will have to take that again in 10th grade. You do have to take 2 years of PE. If you're one of those 10th grade students who's actually completed after this year all 2 years of PE, you can take PE for fun and take our advanced PE class that's listed here for 10th and for 11th and 12th grade. So that is an option that is for elective credits after you finished your first 2 years of PE. So we do have some special academic programs on our campus, and one of them being MCA. We do have a wonderful coordinator. Her name is Miss Vivian Young, who actually coordinates the whole MCA program. And what it is, it's a pathway. MCA should go back a little bit, stands for Media Communications Academy. And what it is for students who are interested in any forms of media, whether it be photography or video or sound design. The intent is for you to start this pathway in 10th grade. So if you're a current ninth grader and you want to start in 10th grade, this would be where you would start. There is an application, and so for more information, you do have to email Miss Young here, vyoung@newarkunified.org. That is her email. If you're, again, this is for a current ninth grader who's interested in 10th grade, moving on into that Media Communications Academy. If you are interested in joining MCA, in 10th grade, these would be the required courses. So you take these classes in a cohort of about 60 students, and there's 2 periods for MCA World History, and then 2 periods of MCA Media. And this is where it's a foundational course for learning different formats of media. And then you stay in that same cohort for English 2 and for chemistry. Math and world language or PE, that depends on where your current placement for world language or for math. If you're a current 10th grader in MCA, please talk to Ms. Young about continuing in 11th grade. If you're an 11th grade MCA student, then you would talk to Ms. Young as well about continuing with 12th grade. If you're in 11th grade, these are the required courses in your senior year for MCA, MCA Government Econ, and MCA Advanced Media 12. So these are the other courses, as you can see in 12th grade. If you're a current MCA 11th grader, these courses would open up for you to take that are non-MCA. In 11th grade, if you're currently in MCA 10th, then these would be the required courses for you to take as an 11th grader. Again, you should email Ms. Young if you are interested in joining as a 9th grader for next year in your 10th grade year. Definitely reach out to her to get some more information. And next to talk about Mission Valley ROP is Ms. Hernandez. She will talk about ROP, college connections, and actually how to register for classes for next year. Just as a reminder, your counselors will be in your English class to talk in greater detail starting this week and continuing with next week. So be sure to have your questions ready for us so that we can show you how to register for the classes online, something that is new for this year, in which we're really excited. Thank you so much. Here's Ms. Hernandez.
Thank you, Mrs. Torres. I am Ms. Hernandez, and I work with students with last names D through M and ELD. Okay, so I will be going over ROP and more information as well. So ROP offers multiple career and technical education courses. The majority of ROP courses are for 11th and 12th graders. However, we do offer a few courses for our underclassmen at the high school. So please pay attention to the grade levels for each ROP course in the course catalog. ROP courses at the high school are also only 1 period. Okay, classes taught at the ROP Center are specifically for 11th and 12th graders, and these periods are these classes are 2 periods a day. Okay, so either 1st and 2nd a.m. or 5th and 6th p.m. Please pay close attention to the course catalog because there are different course numbers for AM courses and PM courses. So please pay attention to that when you are selecting your courses, especially if you want an AM or PM course. Ohlone College Connection. So Ohlone College Connections is a concurrent enrollment program for seniors only. Seniors are required to take these specific 4 high school courses at the Ohlone campus with Miss Nations, okay? And students are also required to take one Ohlone Community College course a semester minimum. And by being part of Ohlone College Connection, students are both Newark Memorial High School students and Ohlone College students. So they get to benefit from both Ohlone and Newark Memorial resources. One thing to also keep in mind, however, is that juniors are required. So if you're a current junior and you're interested in doing Ohlone College Connections, you need to have minimum 180 credits after your junior year in order to be part of this program. And the reason is because you only take 4 required high school classes. And so you need to be ahead on credits. Okay. So if you have any additional questions or if you're interested in participating in Ohlone College Connections, please reach out to Ms. Nations and she can explain the application process. Course registration. So this year students will be signing up for classes through their Student View accounts. Okay. So if you don't know your Student View login, your username is the beginning of your email address. Okay. So use the beginning and don't include the @newarkunified.org. Okay, that's your username, and your password is your 8-digit birthday. Okay, so after you log into your Student View, you're going to see this section over here called Course Request. Okay, and once you select this course request, you're going to come up to this page. Right below, you will see your graduation status summary. Okay, here are your subject area requirements. Okay, here are the number of required credits per subject. Okay, so it should all add up to 230. This is only an example. How many you have completed so far, in progress, so what you are working on right now. But please be conscious and keep this number in mind. These are the remaining. So based on how many you have completed, it will show how many you have remaining so far. Okay, so if you all sign into your Student View accounts, you won't have access to this feature yet. This will open up February 23rd. Okay, so after February 23rd, you'll have access to start selecting your classes. But in the meantime, we're encouraging students to go through the course catalog and start looking at the classes. Okay, so once you're ready to choose your classes, you're going to select this blue square that says click here to change course selection. Okay, and once you click that, it's going to bring you to this page. Okay, this is where you're going to enter the course number. Okay, each class has a number that's specific to each class. Okay, so for example, Algebra 2 has a specific number. Okay, and when you enter Algebra 2's course number, the only class that should pop up is Algebra 2, right? This is an example. This isn't the actual course number, but you should be using course numbers to select your classes. Okay, and in total, you need to be selecting 6 classes. Okay, and when you select the class, you need to hit add request in order for the class to be selected for you. Okay, so in total, again, you need 6 minimum classes, nothing less. Okay, you can select 7 classes if you're in a special program like MCA, for example. Okay, and so your 6 courses, 6 main courses, which are your English, math, science, history, etc., go right here. Okay, or you select the add request. Okay, in addition to your 6 classes, you have the option to select 4 alternative electives. Okay, so in case you don't get your number 1 choice for that you selected over here in your 6 required courses, then you have the option to possibly get one of your alternative courses. Okay, and we encourage you to select 4. Okay, so once you select your courses, they should all be listed here. So your 6 required courses will be here, and then your alternative courses will be here. Okay, once you have finalized your list, you can select this section up here that says click here to return to course request summary. Okay. Oh, one more thing to keep in mind, your alternative electives down here. Okay. So these courses will be prioritized based on the order you select them. So your number 1 is your first choice. Number 2 is your second choice. Number 3 is your third, etc. Okay. So after you've finalized your list, you select here. So click here to return to course request summary. Okay. And then your finalists will populate here. Okay. Now it's no longer giving you the option to add request or add alternative electives. So once you've, finalized your list, they should be here. But so you have until March 5th to make any changes to your course selection. After March 5th, you will no longer be given the option to return and make changes. Okay, so between now and March 5th, you should definitely be talking to whoever you can about your course selections. Okay, and to conclude, so these are a few deadlines and reminders. Okay, so your course registration opens on February 2nd. Again, you won't have the feature to sign up for classes yet on your student view until February 23rd. Okay, so in the meantime, you should definitely be reviewing course catalogs, checking in with your current teachers, checking in with the teachers that teach the courses that you're considering for next year, consulting with your parents. Okay, you should definitely be doing all of that in the meantime. Don't wait until March 4th to start looking at the course catalog and start thinking about your classes. No, start now. Once the course catalog is released, we encourage you to start reviewing it now with your parents, with teachers, with your counselors. Okay, we will be returning this week and next week to answer any questions. So please feel free to leave your questions for us if you have any, okay, because you have until March 5th to submit your course request. Okay, those are our specific deadlines that we are not going to make exceptions for. Okay, and a few reminders, we will be having a course selection fair on February 22nd, where teachers will be talking about their classes, the classes that they teach, and giving more information about their courses. So please be on the lookout for that, more information to come. AP Parent Night, if you're interested in taking AP, you should definitely consider joining us for that night. But again, more information to come. Okay, so course catalogs will be released soon, and we will be counselors will be returning to your classes this week or next. And we look forward to seeing you all.